Welcome back to Lexington, Kentucky, home of the Lexington Counterclocks here at Counterclocks Field. I want to welcome all of you joining us, especially some of those Gastonia Honey Hunter fans. We appreciate you tuning in as well, and I will do my best not to be too much of a homer here during the game, okay? So the umpiring crew has made their way out. Your umpire there with the face mask behind home plate, that's Chris Wood. He's going to be home plate umpire today. Kerry Lyle will be at first base, and third base umpire is Bob Howard. Coach Swally heads out there to exchange lineup cards with Gastonia. And I want to say that is, well, who is that for him right there in Gastonia? Okay, yeah. All right. That's Chuck Stewart, the hitting coach, I'm pretty sure. But they're exchanging the lineup cards, and we want to welcome all you guys here to Lexington. Of course, this is not the only game in town tonight. The University of Kentucky football team is actually hosting Akron University in college football. That game tonight on ESPNU at 7:30. But we're glad you're here with us. Some great games going on in college football as Missouri, boy, you talk about a great game, pulling off a win over a ranked number 14 Kansas State team on the last second. And the way they did it, a 61-yard field goal. I mean, that is unreal. Kudos to that young man who kicked the 61-yarder to win the game today for them. That's a big, big kick. My goodness. But they escaped with that win over a ranked Kansas State team, number 15 Kansas State actually, final 30-27. That game was in Missouri. LSU over big in the Southeastern Conference over Mississippi State. LSU 41, Mississippi State 14. And let's see. I'm not reading that score. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. Of course I will. Eastern Kentucky, is that a final? When is that? All right, first quarter in Richmond, EKU 11, Western Carolina nothing. And we have a celebrity signing. Okay. We have a celebrity signing up here in the press box. I think that's Carson Grigsby up here. Weber, Carson, come here. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Let me see, did you get braces? They look good on you. They look good, man. How's school going?
Good.
Do you like any particular class like better than the other?
PE.
Everybody likes gym. Yeah, man. What about, like, if you had to pick between math, science, social studies, and English, which one is your favorite?
I don't know between math and science.
And where do you go? Tell everybody where you go to school.
Rhodes Pikes Elementary
Where's that at?
in Kentucky.
Awesome. Well, hey, man, I'm glad you're up here. I appreciate you saying hi. Good to see your face again. Now, you going to be here tomorrow or no? Maybe not? Okay. Well, if you are, my son will be here. You all can play all day, all right? Sound good? Carson. Sound good? All right, man. Good to see you, buddy. Carson is the son of our Major League Baseball stringer. He is a wonderful young man. He's got a beautiful, beautiful heart and soul and a gorgeous smile, and good to see him. But, yeah, other action inside the Southeastern Conference before we come to the national anthem here. Alabama, boy, what a shocker this is. Number 10 Alabama in the third quarter tied up with South Florida 3-3. Texas A&M at half, big over Louisiana Monroe 27-3. Tennessee and Florida, that's going to be later on tonight, as is Samford, Samford at Auburn. Vanderbilt UNLV is also a 7 o'clock game. Georgia Tech and Ole Miss as well. BYU is at Arkansas. That game is at 7:30 on ESPN2. And on ESPNU is the Akron and Kentucky game. Some scores from the top 25. Georgia finally takes the lead after being down at the half to South Carolina, 24-14. That game with 3 minutes to go in Georgia. But Carolina gave them a real scare there. Oklahoma, 66. Texas, 17. Minnesota is in the fourth quarter losing to Carolina, 31-13, North Carolina. Western Michigan 10, Iowa 24, third quarter. Western Kentucky 10, Ohio State. Number 6, Ohio State, 49, and that one is in the third quarter as well. Right before the half, Washington Huskies, number 8 ranked, 28. Michigan State Spartans, nothing. Washington State, 43. North Colorado, 7. That's at the half. UCLA at the half leads NC Central, 45-0. Florida State escapes from Boston College with a win. Boston College almost upset number 3 Florida State in Boston College, 31-29, though the Seminoles pull it out. Final in Illinois, Penn State wins 30-13 over the Fighting Illini. Weber State loses to Utah 31-7. That's a final. Notre Dame 41, Central Michigan 17. That's a final. Oregon State beats San Diego State 26-9. That's a final. Duke somehow is playing good football nowadays. That's a shock, but they won today over Northwestern 38-14. And the rest of these games are coming later. We'll give you some updates. So if you're watching some baseball with us tonight, we're glad to have you, and we'll give you updates as the night goes on. And for some of you viewers, I'll keep you updated even on that Eastern Kentucky game. Our official scorer here will keep me updated on that one, I'm sure, and I'll bring it to you. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Night at the park, and there's a lot of pink out there in the stands. I'm wearing my pink bracelet as well for breast cancer awareness. And later on, we might have a guest on to talk a little bit about what's going on today as far as some of those communities groups that are here for breast cancer awareness. All right? The national anthem down there is going to be sung by a large group of students, and we are honored to have them here. So stand by. We'll listen to them sing. We'll be right back. This is Counterclock Baseball on Flow Sports. Welcome back to Lexington, Kentucky. I'm Steve Tressler. It's time for Lexington Counterclocks Baseball. Counterclocks facing the Gastonia Honey Hunters, Game 2 of our 3-game series, but it's also game number 125 on the season out of 126. So we are literally at the end of the season tonight, and then one game tomorrow, and that's it for the regular season. Counterclocks come in 49-73. Honey Hunters 77-46. Their record here now is 36-25 in the second half. That is the record that is getting them to the playoffs. That 36-25 is the divisional lead. Counterclocks have struggled in the second half. Their record second half 18-41. But they did lose several very strong players. And when you're in the Atlantic League, your players get moved up. The team will suffer. You're not going to get somebody that's going to be as good to replace them because, quite honestly, they get taken because they're playing so well, right, that they get moved up. So we're happy for them that moved up, but the team, you know, they have to fight their way through that mess and tough it out. And they've done that. So welcome, everybody, and hello to our Honey Hunter fans that have joined us. Robbie Ross on the mound. And the first pitch here by Ross is hit by Reinheimer for a base hit to left field, and we're underway. Jack Reinheimer singles on that first pitch, and we're ready to go. Robbie Ross, of course, grew up here in Lexington, Kentucky, was drafted right out of high school, played Major League Baseball for several seasons, 3 years with the Rangers in Texas, and then 3 years with the Boston Red Sox, had some great numbers. That pitch in there to De La Rosa, strike one. Here's the 0-1. Inside, 1-1. The Honey Hunters get my award for the best looking jerseys. They've got those black jerseys on today with the Honey Hunters across the front, and it's dripping honey off of the letters. Those are just beautiful, honestly. They're great looking jerseys. And the neat thing is that pitch misses 2-1. The neat thing is all the names in the Atlantic League, they mean something, right? They all mean something. These aren't just randomly thought up names. They tie into their community somehow, and that's what it's really all about. Stolen base by Reinheimer. Throw goes into center field. Tavares can't hold on to it, and Moritz has to get it and fire it in. But not before Jack Reinheimer makes it all the way to third base. And they've got somebody in scoring position now. And just like that, that's how it happens. Nobody out, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and a runner at third. Ross gets his sign, looks in, fires, and fouled off on a 2-2 pitch here. Saturday night tonight, as I told you, Breast Cancer Awareness Night, a lot of pink in the ballpark. And, of course, I told you I'm wearing my bracelet. And I have a lady on later on that's going to talk to us about her own journey and her own fight with breast cancer. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ross out of the stretch, looks over his shoulder, checks his runner, now fires. Right down the middle, strike 3, 90-mile-an-hour fastball. And De La Rosa heads to the dugout, smiles at Robbie Ross. He smiles back. And there's 1 out. Zach Jarrett coming to the plate here. Scott Monet on deck. Runner at third, 1 out. First pitch here, down low, ball 1. Earlier, before the game today, there were 2 awards given out. One of the awards was to Aaron Oceanbine, who reached 100 strikeouts this year. So he was given a plaque. I believe that was by the team, wasn't it, Hugh? Was that from the league or by the team?
I think the team, but I don't know.
Okay. So he was awarded a plaque for hitting the 100 strikeout mark. The other award, in my eyes, is a really big deal. Is it Donnie Robinson, right? Donnie Robinson has been an employee here, an adult employee here with special needs. The run scores, but they do get the out at first, so 2 outs, and it's a 1-0 score, Gastonia. So 2 outs, 1-0 Gastonia here, top of the first. Really neat about that Donnie Robinson award, as I told you, Donnie is a special needs adult that works here at the ballpark, and he has a very unique ability to connect with everybody he meets. Everybody that comes to the game, at least with any kind of frequency, they know Donnie. Donnie knows their name. He'll go up and hug them and say hello, and he's just a really special human being, and he loves everybody. He doesn't see a stranger. Everybody to him is somebody familiar, and he treats them like their family. And so his ability to connect with others and to people in our community, we actually decided this year to name an award for him, for that special person that makes good connections to others on the team. And this year it went to Connor Owings. So, Connor, congratulations. And that's a very special award. And I hope you were honored to get it, because I know Donnie thinks you're pretty special. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to Scott Manea, the catcher tonight. That pitch misses, 3-1. 1-0 score. Reinheimer stole his 30th base moments ago, and a walk here to Manea. And then he advanced to third on a throwing error by the catcher, Logan Brown. He was able to score on a ground ball that was hit, and the runner thrown out, but the run scored. And Jarrett was the one who hit the ground ball, was thrown out at first, but he did get the run in. Here's Davidson right here, Braxton Davidson. Talked to him a little bit today before the game. You don't realize how big Braxton Davidson is until you stand right next to him. Like, I'm a big guy. Braxton Davidson is bigger than I am, and he's something to be face-to-face with. 6'2", 240. And even bigger than him is David Washington, the first baseman for the Honey Hunters. My gosh, I didn't realize how huge that guy is. He could be a tight end in the NFL. And I mean that. Here's the 0-1. Upstairs, swing and a miss, 0-2. Thank you, Jacob. And strike 3, swing and a miss there. That'll end the inning. I had it 0-2, or 0-1, not 0-2, but strike 3. That ends the inning. They leave one stranded, but they get 1 run on 1 hit thanks to an error. We're headed to the bottom half of the inning. Counter clock's coming up. It'll be Moritz, Gregorio, Owings when we come back. This is Counter Clock Baseball, brought to you by our friends at Miller Transportation, getting our players to and from where they need to be on time and in comfort. Miller Transportation. We'll be right back, everybody. Andrew Moritz will lead things off for the Counter Clocks. They trail 1-0 as we begin the bottom of the first. He'll face Daniels, the pitcher on the mound for the Honey Hunters. First pitch in there, strike 1. Brett Daniels, 6', 200-pound right-hander from North Carolina. Played AAA ball with the Cleveland Guardians before becoming a Honey Hunter. Here's the 0-1 to Moritz. That one fouled back and quickly 0-2 now. Nice crowd coming in tonight. Might even be bigger than last night's, which I'm kind of surprised because we had a couple thousand last night and there's a lot of sports on today, but looks like everybody wanted to make it out to a game. That pitch upstairs, 1-2 to Moritz. 283 average for Andrew. And that one hits Moritz on a 1-2 pitch. He gets hit with a 76-mile-an-hour curveball in the leg, and he'll take first base. And the leadoff runner is on, albeit a hit by pitch. That'll bring up Osmi Gregorio. No, it hit him in the leg. I wonder why that. I watched it hit his leg. I'm surprised they. Maybe the umpire said he didn't move out of the way or attempt to. The only way they do that is if he leans into it somehow, or if they think there was no effort made to get out of the way. So 2-2. And that pitch outside, 3-2 now. Full count to Andrew Moritz. And that one upstairs, and he'll be on base with a walk. So he got there. Not the way we thought, but he got there. Now Osmi Gregorio, goes up to the plate. Runner on first, nobody out here, bottom of the first. Owings on deck. First pitch here from Daniels to Gregorio. And Gregorio hits this one hard to right field. Just foul. Boy, that went a long way, folks. If he straightens that out, he'll be in business. 252 average, 3 homers. See his numbers, 15 RBIs and a 646 OPS. That is the on-base percentage plus slugging. You quite literally, to get that OPS number, which is one that a lot of baseball people track, you just add their on-base percentage to their slugging average, and that's your number. That's it. It's no more complicated than simple addition. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Got him 1-2 the count. Gregorio way out ahead of that one. Brett Daniels, born November 26, 1995. Nope. February 25th, 1996. Excuse me. Fuquay Varina, North Carolina. This one fouled out of play. Count still 1-2. Daniels drafted by the Houston Astros. This one, line drive foul into that EMWN law office dugout. Speaking of which, thanks to all the attorneys and staff at the EMWN law offices, we are grateful for your sponsorship and support of Counterclocks Baseball. One ball, 2 strikes. Daniels looking, long look. Still now turns, fires to first. And that's the one disengagement he's allowed with his runner at first, Moritz. So that is done. Now if he throws over, he has to either throw him out, because if he throws over again and he doesn't get him out on the pickoff attempt, Andrew Moritz is awarded second base automatically. Gregorio hits this one to short, picked up, fired to second. They're going to get him, but they're not. Or they're going to get Gregorio, but they're not going to get – they're going to get, Moritz, but they're not going to get Gregorio. So they get the force at second, and there's one out, and that brings Connor Owings to the plate. Connor from Coastal Carolina University. That's also the same school where the team president and general manager went for the counterclocks, Justin Ferrarella. He was also at Coastal Carolina University. Gregorio with a big lead there. Looked like he was going to go for a second, but ended up going back. One ball, no strikes, one out. Beautiful weather here in Lexington. Not sunny and perfect, but also not rainy or cold. An overcast, nice cool weather. That's why I'm glad I'm here. Nice and cool. 70 degrees, little breeze, not too much of a breeze, so you're not cold. But you can definitely tell that summer is on its way out and fall is just around the corner. And do you know why we say spring and fall, Ashley, besides them being the names? Because in the spring, things come up, like they're springing up. They grow and come up. In fall, the leaves fall. Yeah. Swing and a miss there by Owings. 2 balls, 2 strikes. All the people that wearing their pink tonight, so good to see them come to the ballpark and enjoy some baseball. They handed out some pink pom-poms as well, so a lot of the kids are shaking the pink pom-poms and cheering on the clocks tonight. This one fouled out of play. Even a few fans for Gastonia are here tonight. How about that, Noah Epstein? Some Gastonia Honey Hunter fans sitting over there behind the dugout. I'm not sure if they're family or what, but they got a couple people over there with some Gastonia shirts on. Good to have them here, and hopefully they've enjoyed Central Kentucky on their visit. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Daniels. Long look, now fires. This one hit hard, deep right field, but not hard enough, as settling under it to make the catch is the right fielder. And Braxton Davidson makes the grab, and that's out number 2. Boy, it came off his bat in a hurry, but the wind is blowing in from that side, and I think that wind killed it, because the moment he hit it, that wind was a little stronger than it's been all night. In either case, 2 outs. Thomas Dillard, your home run leader in the Atlantic League, at the plate. 38 home runs, 98 RBIs. First pitch to him is outside, ball 1. 1 on and 2 outs for the Clocks. They trail 1-0. Clocks won yesterday 7-1. I don't think that's right. What was the score yesterday? 7-1? Huh. That's right. They had 1 run on 4 hits. I was thinking about the night before. When you do 27 games in 43 days, they run together somehow. This one fouled out of play by Dillard, 2-1. Then you add to the fact I'm a C student. That makes it even tougher. 2-1 count here. Daniels looking in, getting his sign. The pitch misses. It's 3-1. Daniels taken out of North Carolina, played for the Tar Heels. In 2018, the Houston Astros took him in round 17 of the Major League Baseball draft. He was a 522nd pick overall. 3-1. This one hit high into the sky. Deep left field to the warning track. Looking up, though, and making the grab for out number 3 is De La Rosa. So the Clocks leave one stranded It's a 1-0 game. We're headed to the second. This is Counterclock Baseball on Flow Sports, brought to you by our friends at Kentucky Utilities, and they sponsor the Kentucky Utilities Power Alley. Kentucky Utilities, we keep the lights on. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back to Counterclocks Field in Lexington. Robbie Ross on the mound for the Counterclocks. He's pitching to David Washington. David is huge. Saw him before the game, talked to him for a second. He is a big dude. Fouls that one off. 1-1 strike to Washington. David is 6'5", 230. He's from San Diego, California. He did play in the major leagues. Got to the league and played 3 games. That's it for the Baltimore Orioles. But, David, you're still getting paid to play baseball. This one hit high into the sky by Washington. Deep right center field. Coming over is Encarnacion in front of the 375 mark, and he'll make the grab. And there's one down. Here's Almeida. Almeida was a catcher last night. One of the funnier moments I've seen in baseball last night, Gregorio is waved home, and they're trying to score him on a hit to the outfield, but the ball gets in really quick, and Almeida's at home plate holding the ball, waiting on Gregorio to get there, and Gregorio knew he was out, so he just ran up to Almeida and gave him a hug. And so Almeida and Gregorio are hugging at home plate, and, well, I asked him about that today, and I said, hey, did you think he was going to run you down or run you over, Pete Rose style? And he said, no. He's from the Dominican Republic. I'm from Puerto Rico, but we're like brothers. I'm like, what, your friends? He goes, no, but just, the Spanish-speaking players. We're like brothers. So I knew he wasn't going to do that. Plus, and then he kind of gestured that Gregorio was kind of small, with his hand, like he's not very tall. But Gregorio is kind of tall. But he goes, no, plus he wouldn't be able to. So just kind of saying that he's not going to get run over by anybody. I mean, Almeida is 6 foot, 230 pounds. Gregorio, he's only 200 pounds, so he does got 30 pounds on him. Swing and miss there. Full count. 3-2, 1 out. Alexis Almeida. And he hits this one to right, foul into the netting. And I'm saying Almeida, I believe that's correct. Almeida.
Yeah, that's Almeida. He's wearing 33 tonight.
Yeah, normally 26. He's got on 33 tonight. And that pitch from Robbie Ross misses. He thought he had strike 3. But Almeida draws the walk, and Kevin Santa comes to the plate now. 1 on, 1 out for Santa. Kevin Santa, 234 average, 4 home runs, 30 RBIs. And the first pitch from Ross in there, strike 1. This pitch here, fastball, 88 miles an hour again. Strike 2, swing and a miss by Santa. So Major League Baseball underway as well. You know, late September, early October, such a great time. You got college football going in full swing. NFL football is going in full swing. And then you got Major League Baseball playoffs starting too. I mean, such a great time for sports. And then the NBA starts soon. Strike 3 here looking. And that's a third strikeout of the game for Robbie Ross. Now Jake Hoover will come up and see what he can do with Robbie Ross. Steps in, taps the plate, says he's ready. 206 average. And the first pitch from Ross is upstairs, ball 1. Hoover from Armada, Michigan. Check swing there. Looked like he went around. Oh. What'd you say? Jake played AAA ball for the Ranger organization. This one hit high into the sky. Encarnacion settling underneath it, and he'll make the grab. That ends the inning, and Encarnacion throws the ball over the netting to one of the kids, so they get a souvenir, and that's always fun. We'll be right back. This is Counterclocks Baseball. Clock's coming up when we return. Encarnacion, Brown, Sanchez. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back to Counterclocks Field. Don't forget, tonight is not only Breast Cancer Awareness Night, but it's also Fireworks Night, Saturday night. And, well, thank you to Casabella's Fireworks for being a part of Counterclock Baseball this year. And we'll be shooting off the best fireworks show in town tonight. First pitch here, Encarnacion, a high pop fly right field. And that's out number 1 as Davidson makes the grab. So the fireworks show tonight, every Saturday night they seem to get better and better, and I'm sure with Fan Appreciation Day tomorrow for the last game, it'll be a great fireworks show tonight. I do want to tell everybody that the fireworks are for Counterclock fans only, so if you're here and you're from Gastonia, we just ask that you please don't look up. Thank you. Just kidding. You can look at the fireworks. Fireworks are for everybody. 1 ball, no strike here to Logan Brown. Played his ball at Southern Indiana. Grounder picked up by Washington. He'll touch the bag, and there's 2 up, 2 down on 2 pitches, or 3 pitches actually. Get ahead of myself, don't I? So Aldina Sanchez comes to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. Bottom of the second. The playoff-bound Honey Hunters in the lead here early. From the stretch, kicks, fires, throws, and this pitch hit straightaway center, 390 feet away, and 4 pitches that inning for 3 outs. That is good, efficient pitching by Daniels from the Honey Hunters. We're headed to the third. It's 1-0 Gastonia. We'll be right back with Counterclock Baseball right after this. Welcome back to Lexington, Kentucky. This is Counterclocks Baseball. I'm Steve Tressler. Counterclocks trail the Gastonia Honey Hunters 1-0. Top of the order, Jack Reinheimer comes up for the second time. On the first pitch of the game, he hit a liner to left for a single off of Ross. This time, Ross comes back with a changeup and gets him strike 1. Reinheimer's put up big numbers all year. He is just an all-out baller, folks. And this pitch here, a line drive caught by Tavares. Broken bat. It didn't come off the bat as fast as you would have thought. So Tavares able to go to his right 3 or 4 steps and make the catch for the out. De La Rosa stepping in. He went down looking at strike 3. Good job on the replay by our technical director tonight, Luke Stone. That one in there, strike 1 to De La Rosa. Swing and a miss there, 0-2 quickly. No balls, 2 strikes to De La Rosa. Ross looks in, gets his sign, now fires. And boy, I thought he had him right there. That looked good from up here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. De La Rosa in left field tonight. Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit calling the Tennessee-Florida game. You got any guesses on that one, Hugh? Tennessee, Florida? It's in Gainesville. Tennessee has not won in Rocky Top for 20 years. It'll be the first time since 2003 if they pull it off tonight, which they should. I mean, they're a big favorite. They're ranked number 11, right? Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We still got nothing on that. Sorry for the graphic that doesn't show it, but it's 1 ball, 2 strikes here.
1 ball or 2 balls?
Yeah, 2-2, excuse me. So, but it's not showing up on the Vertec graphic there. And strike 3, and for the second time, De La Rosa goes down looking at a strike 3 from Robbie Ross, and there's 2 outs. Two outs, and Dale Jarrett's son, Zach Jarrett, at the plate. And he swung on that NASCAR fast, folks. But Owings throws him out just as fast on the other end of that. 3 up, 3 down for Ross. It's 1-0. We're headed to the bottom of the third. We'll be right back with Counterclocks Baseball right after this. Welcome back to Lexington, Kentucky. It's a 1-0 game. Gastonia Honey Hunters in the lead as we start the bottom of the third here. And Counterclocks coming up to bat. Chris Brady, Jesus Tavares, and Andrew Moritz. You know, that was just a moment ago while we were at commercial break. The public address announcer is Bill Sally, and Bill recognized all the breast cancer survivors in the crowd, and there was quite a few of them. And a nice round of applause given to them and a lot of love shown. Here's Chris Brady. First pitch here, he hits it high to left, but not deep and way up in the air. And coming in is De La Rosa to make the grab. Tell you what, Brett Daniels has only thrown 5 pitches and gotten 4 outs since the beginning of the second. That is some efficient work there, buddy. Jesus Tavares coming to the plate. Daniels looks in, gets his sign. First pitch is upstairs high, ball 1. Daniels really works that clock. I mean, he holds the ball and waits. Here's a grounder by Tavares, and on the second pitch of that at bat, there's 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Now the top of the order, and Andrew Moritz coming to the plate. Center fielder drew a walk his first time up. Daniels, again, working that clock all the way down to 10 again. And this pitch in there, strike 1 to Andrew Moritz. 283 average, 3 homers. First homer came on the very first game he played as a counter clock. And, well, any team will welcome you if you do that. He was brought onto the team because Ronnie Dawson was taken by the Kaiwoom Heroes. They bought his contract, and Ronnie headed to Korea. One ball, 1 strike. And Moritz hits this one. Base hit into right center. For the center fielder, Moritz, big turn around the bag, and he'll go back as Jarrett picks it up and fires it in to the shortstop, Reinheimer. But a 2-out single for the counterclock center fielder. And now Osmi Gregorio, the shortstop, is going to see what he can do. We're going to find out if hitting is truly contagious or not as Gregorio comes up to face Daniels for the second time. Last time he reached on a fielder's choice. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball one. So hard to believe that an entire baseball season is coming to an end tomorrow. I mean, it just seems like it flies by every year. At the beginning of the season, you've got all that baseball in front of you, and it feels like it's never going to end. And a little rolling grounder here, picked up and tossed to first, and that'll end the inning. Clocks leave one stranded again, but we're headed to the fourth. It's still 1-0, Honey Hunters. Counterclock Baseball brought to you by our friends in G&J Pepsi Bottling Company of Central Kentucky. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Lexington, Kentucky. Counterclocks field here as the Honey Hunters lead 1-0. Those are great jerseys, aren't they? The honey just dripping off of there. First pitch here from Robbie Ross inside. Ball one to Scott Manea. That pitch there looked good. Strike one. Manea walked his first time. Strike two there. Lancaster won the North Division pennant. So they will play Staten Island, or no, they'll play Long Island. And Lancaster, there's a picture up on the Atlantic League website where they're celebrating and winning the second half division title in the North. So Lancaster, Long Island will be the playoff in the North. In the South, it's going to be your Honey Hunters right here from Gastonia taking on High Point. Yeah, battle of North Carolina teams. So one of those teams is going to represent the Tar Heel State in the Atlantic League World Series or the Atlantic League Championship Series. But in our world, in the Atlantic League, it's our World Series, right? If you're an Atlantic League fan, this is your World Series. And you know what? Congratulations to the Atlantic League celebrating 25 years of baseball this year. Happy anniversary. That one fouled off. Count stays 3-2 to Manea. Tennessee scored a touchdown there on the board. It's 7-0. Tennessee down in Gainesville. That game late in the first quarter. Davidson on deck. That one inside, and a walk for the second time. Minea draws a walk. Excuse me. And now Braxton Davidson, who struck out swinging his first time, comes to the plate to face Robbie Ross again. Minea is a 270 hitter. Braxton Davidson, about that too, 267. Yes, sir. Yeah, he struck out, yeah. Yeah, I was actually talking to him. I said, man, you're a good player. You had a good game yesterday. He's like, no, not yesterday. I was like, oh, yeah, of course not. But in the field, I thought so. And I've seen you light it up before. I felt bad that I said that. But, I mean, look at his OPS. It's over 1,000. So he's either hitting the ball hard with 24 home runs or doubles, or he's getting walked. I mean, that's slugging average and his on-base percentage. That tells you the story right there. He gets on base. 2 balls and no strikes. This one popped up into the air, and he slams his bat down. He's so upset with himself. And Gregorio makes his way into shallow left field, calls everybody off, and makes the catch. Keep your head up, Braxton Davidson. So, Davidson's pop-up is caught. There's one out, and now David Washington coming up. He flew out to right his first time. Fouls the first pitch off his leg there. OPS at 1,000. 272 average. Did he go? They say. We said yeah to that one? Yeah. I didn't think he went, to be honest with you. Swing and a miss there. Strike 3. I think Washington got the bad end of the stick on that. I didn't think he swung at that second one. But I don't get to make the rules there. 2 outs. And Alexis Almeida coming back up. First pitch here fouled off by Almeida, strike 1. Consistency and persistence can turn failing efforts into extraordinary success. But you have to have them both. You have to be consistent. You have to be persistent. And if you can do that, you can become a great hitter too. Because I don't know about you, but you go down to that field and you hear the pitches coming. And when you hear a pitch coming, not only does that tell you it's fast, but it's hard to get your bat around to hit it. Strike 3 called on that pitch, and that will end the inning. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th. Counterclock's coming up when we return. This is Counterclock Baseball, brought to you by the Lexington Clinic. We'll be right back, everybody. Welcome back to Lexington, Kentucky. Connor Owings coming to the plate for his second trip. You know, during the break, our public address announcer had everybody stand up and recognize those that they were standing up for that has fought cancer or somebody in their life that has dealt with cancer. And everybody in the stadium stood up because everybody's had somebody who's been affected by cancer. My father had throat cancer, died of it. My mother at one point had lung cancer but was able to get past it until she finally passed. But everybody's been affected. As a matter of fact, our team president and general manager, who's only 30 years old, by the way, was diagnosed at 18 years old with testicular cancer. And it was a battle that he fought and was able to get past, but not before it took a real toll on his life. And if you look in his bio, you'll see that he puts down he's a cancer survivor. So everybody's touched, young and old. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Connor Owings. Daniels, very efficient tonight. Swing and a miss, 2-2 now. Both Ross and Daniels have only given up 1 hit. Ross has given up 1 run on 1 hit. Daniels has given up 1 hit and no runs at this point. Swing and a miss there. Boy, I tell you what, his fastball is only 89, but it's so well placed. This guy can pitch. I mean, he can flat out pitch. So 1 out as Thomas Dillard comes to the plate. Encarnacion waiting in the wings. Big numbers for Dillard there. Looks like it might drop a few raindrops out here tonight. He holds back. Looked like he was tempted to swing at that, but able to resist. 1 ball, no strikes to Dillard. Swing and a miss there, though, 1-1. What? You know, it's interesting. I'm going to talk about this in a second. 2 balls, 1 strike to Dillard. We were looking at the weather. Excuse me, I wasn't talking there. You know, it's not like in the MLB where you've got people handing you stuff and you have 4 screens in front of you, and you know it's easy. You know, we do everything. So guys like Noah Epstein and myself and all the other broadcasters in the Atlantic League. This one hit high and deep to left center field, going back to the warning track and looking up. It's gone. Home run number 39 for Thomas Dillard. And, boy, I tell you what, that's home run number 39 and RBI number 99 for Dillard to go with 99 walks on the season as well. And TD gets another one. And that ties it up with 1 swing of the bat. You know, we always say it. He could tie it up with 1 swing of the bat. Well, this time he did. Boy, does he got power. You know, Nick Mangione was here he's the head coach of the University of Kentucky baseball team. He was here, and I was talking to him before our game, and his team came here to celebrate. And I handed him our roster, and he looked at it, and as soon as he saw Thomas Dillard, he goes, "Is that the one from Ole Miss?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "That guy's got such good power." This one fouled off by Encarnacion. It stays fair, now rolls foul, and Daniels, a la soccer style, kicks it over to the side. 1 ball, 1 strike. But this year, you know, I guess about June or July, I decided I was going to try and get back into some better shape because, honestly, I was out of shape, and you can feel it in your clothes. Like my clothes, and they're big, right? My clothes are big enough to cover me. But I was getting too big, and I said, okay, I got to get in better shape. Swing and a miss there by Encarnacion. And so my wife and I were talking, and she said, "What's your goal, like weight loss-wise? How many pounds do you want to lose?" And I said, "I don't know about the pounds, but I just want to look like I'm not wearing a bulletproof vest all the time." That pitch there got him. Strike 3. And 2 outs. So after the home run by Dillard, Encarnacion goes down on strikes. You know, I don't have to be skinny, but I just want to keep my original kneecaps, if that makes sense. I don't want to have to get both knees replaced like some of my friends' dads have had to do. And swing and a miss there. Strike 1 to Brown. I don't want to be that grandpa that, you know, is watching his grandkids and they're like, well, why is grandpa under the tree sweating? Well, I don't know. Hand him a towel. I don't want to be that grandpa. Swing and a miss by Brown, 0-2. So, lost 35 pounds in 2 months. I want to lose about 35 more. But, you know, it's tough on big guys like me, man. You lose that weight and somehow Brown hits this one deep left field, and stepping back a few steps to the warning track is De La Rosa making the grab. It's tough on us big guys, man. We like to eat. Can't help it. Tied up after 4. We're headed to the top of the 5th. Counterclocks 1, Honey Hunters 1. This is Counterclock Baseball on Flow Sports. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Counterclocks Field. Kevin Santa will lead things off for the Honey Hunters. And the first pitch here ripped into center field for a single by Santa. And he wasted no time getting it going. So during the break there, you know, Dillard hit a home run in the bottom half of last inning to tie the ball game up. And you know, I'm a sports junkie, and you know, I love baseball. I'm a baseball fanatic, and I love baseball history. And of course, during the break, you know, you see like a little version of you with Noah Epstein, the announcer for the Honey Hunters. He's got COVID. He's not even broadcasting the game, but he can't help himself. He's got to send me trivia and notes, and trying to go out of his way to make my broadcast you know, better, and I'm grateful for that because I would be doing the same thing to Noah. But he sent me a really, really good note here on this one as this one's popped up, and it's trapped in center field, not caught by Andrew Moritz. He traps it, and now both runners safe, first and second. So Santa on first, and right after Santa, Hoover comes up, and he hits a single to center. So back-to-back singles to center field, and now 2 on and nobody out. But that home run by Thomas Dillard broke a 15-inning scoreless streak for Brett Daniels. He had pitched 15 innings with not allowing a single run until that home run. Here's a little check swing by Reinheimer, but he's so fast. That's a perfect double play ball, but Tavares gets it from Gregorio and realizes he doesn't even have a throw there. So the runners at first and third now with one out. That should have been 2 outs right there, but boy, Reinheimer he can move, folks. So officially he'll reach on a fielder's choice. Thank you to Noah for sending that, by the way, Noah. Eric De La Rosa coming up. He has struck out both times, and both times he struck out tonight, he's struck out looking. So runners at first and third, 1 out. Ross, now they got him picked off. Look at that. They got to keep an eye on the runner going home, though. So the run scores. And Gregorio finally chases down the runner and puts the tag on him as Reinheimer caught in the rundown, but Reinheimer kept him busy enough to allow Hoover to score. And they're playing that replay there, and you'll see that Santa scored, not Hoover. Santa scored, and it's 2-1 Honey Hunters. Boy, the Honey Hunters will get you. They are a good baseball team. And, you know, when you talk about strategy, if I'm, I don't know if he did this or not, but if I'm Goose, I send that guy just like that on purpose, and I don't care if he gets caught or not because I'm just trying to distract the defense so that my runner from third can score while you're all worried about trying to run that guy down. How about that? There is so much strategy that goes into baseball. So for people who don't understand the game, you should really study it, especially if you're going to be around a park, right? If you're going to be around a baseball park, if your husband goes or if your wife goes and you don't understand the game, it's a very intricate game with multiple layers. My wife asked me, we were watching a game, how come, they're hitting our batter? And I said, well, that may have been an accident, may not have been. But then the next inning, the first pitch, they, return it and they hit a batter. And she goes, now that couldn't have been an accident. And I said, no, it wasn't. Actually, they did that because we hit their batter. And she's like, why? And, there's so many intricacies to the game that you don't realize. There's game within the game out on the field between the players. It's not just balls and strikes. Swing here by De La Rosa. Count now 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Top of the 5th. And struck him out a third time, this time swinging. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th. The Honey Hunters put another run on the board. They lead it 2-1. We're halfway in the books, folks. We're going to the bottom of the 5th. Clock's coming up when we come back right after this. First pitch here to Sanchez in there, strike one from Daniels. Clocks trail 2-1 here in Lexington on a breezy, cool night in central Kentucky. Swing and a miss there, 0-2 now to Sanchez. If you've never been here, this is the horse capital of the world. We love our race horses, which is part of the name Counterclocks. The name Counterclocks refers to the fact that during the Revolutionary War, the British raced their horses clockwise on the grass. And as a way to say, to heck with the British, we decided to race our horses counterclockwise on the dirt. And we still do that to this day, and, well, that's why. We're called the Counterclocks. Check swing there. Did he go? They say yes, and Sanchez goes down on strikes. So the counterclock name comes from that story there, but you also play baseball counterclockwise on the dirt. So it's very fitting for the team to have the name Counterclocks because that's how you play baseball, counterclockwise on the dirt. So a strikeout for Daniels, that's one out. So Daniels had 15 innings of scoreless baseball until that home run by Dillard. So thanks to Noah Epstein for that tidbit on Daniels. That pitch down low, and the count 2-0 now to Chris Brady. Fans having a good time here tonight. I would venture 2,500 to 3,000 people showed up tonight. Ball hit sky high into the air by Brady and caught by the shortstop Reinheimer, and that's out number 2 of the bottom of the 5th. Tavares grounded out to second, his first time up. And now he's ready to go. 2 outs. Daniels fires. And that one missing, ball 1. These kids down here cracking me up. They're trying to taunt Daniels from here, and I don't think he can hear them, but they're doing the best they can. 1 ball, 1 strike. This one popped up by Tavares. Foul. It's a souvenir for somebody now. That's nice. You know, baseball is such a fun game. It's the only sport where you can go to the game and leave with something that was on the field of play. I mean, think about how cool that is. You go to a hockey game, even if the puck goes in the stands, sometimes they ask for it back. I've seen where they haven't before, but I've been to a pro game where somebody will come down into the stands and ask for it and give them something like a gift card to the gift shop. Tavares swings and misses there, and he goes down on strikes. We're headed to the 6th. Thanks to Fort Bank for their sponsorship of Lexington Counterclock Baseball. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Lexington, Kentucky. Dakota Mekas takes the mound in relief of Robbie Ross. So top of the 6th inning, Dakota Mekas on the mound. Robbie Ross leaves after giving up 2 runs on 3 hits through 5 innings. So not a bad outing for a guy that's not really playing active baseball except occasionally when, somebody signs him. He pitched 1 game for Frederick back in July and hasn't pitched for anyone until tonight, and not too bad for Robbie Ross. When you got it, you got it. That pitch by Mekas upstairs. 3 balls, no strikes. Jarrett, 3-0 here. Manea on deck. Davidson in the hole. Jarrett on a 3-0 pitch hits a line drive caught by Gregorio. And Jarrett frustrated, you could tell, but it's not like he's not hitting the ball. He's hit the ball hard. Both times prior to that, he grounded out to third. That time hits a line drive, but right to the shortstop. Scott Manea, he's 0 for 2, or 0 for 0, I should say. Technically, he hasn't had a plate appearance. He's had 2 walks. And when you get a base on balls, that does not count as an at-bat. So in your official scorer's book, nothing yet. This one hit up the middle. That'll count, though. 1 for 1 with a single, and he was excited about that. So on a 0-1 pitch, he singles to center. And that brings up Braxton Davidson. Now, the scary part is here, Braxton struck out 4 times yesterday, and he was, obviously he's upset with himself. Today he struck out and popped out to shortstop. And this guy can hit the ball, folks. So when he does get a hold of one, and he didn't hit that solid, but he hit it high into the sky. Gregorio makes a nice grab, my goodness. And did they get him? They did. Wow, what a throw by Gregorio. Folks, that's called a web gem. I hope these fans know what they got to see just now. We're definitely going to watch that replay before the break here. But this is anything but a routine pop-up to the outfield when the shortstop makes the play. If the outfielder comes rushing in, that's one thing. But he's going back now, reaches over his shoulder, catches it, fires from left field all the way to first base, and they get the double play. That, my friends, is good baseball. Tip your hat to Gregorio for that play if you're Dakota Mekas. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. It's 2-1 Honey Hunters. This is Counterclocks Baseball. We'll be right back, everybody. Andrew Moritz leads it off here. Bottom of the 6th inning, 2-1, Honey Hunters here in Lexington. First pitch in there, strike one. Britt Daniels on the mound for the start of the bottom of the 6th here. Only giving up 1 run and 2 hits through 5. That is solid pitching, folks. That one in there, strike 2. You know, what's interesting about Daniels is he's not throwing these pitches 97, 96 miles an hour. He's throwing, the hardest he's thrown tonight has been 89. This is just good pitching, folks. This one hit to straightaway center. Zach Jarrett, he'll put his glove up and make the catch, and that's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Moritz, the leadoff hitter, pops out to center field, and the guy who made that great play just a moment ago in the top of the inning there, coming to the plate, Osmi Gregorio. Gregorio reached on a fielder's choice and then hit a little dribbler to the pitcher and was thrown out. First pitch from Daniels, swung on and missed, strike 1. Now that one was 90 miles an hour. That was his fastball, and that one did hit 90. Gregorio, 0 for 2 so far tonight. Swing and a miss, same pitch there, 90 again, strike 2. Got a great team up here in the broadcast booth bringing you the game, so hopefully you're enjoying it. Timeout called by Gregorio. He'll step out of the box. Even had a visit from one of our VIP guests tonight, Carson Weber. Came up to the broadcast booth and said hi to all the minions. We appreciate that. That pitch upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You know, the saddest thing about baseball season ending for me is I don't get to see Hugh Davis. That makes me sad for a whole winter. I'm not going to lie. Hugh, I'm going to do a better job of texting you this winter. Just with some sports stuff and staying in touch, because I didn't do a very good job last year. I hit you up a couple times. Then at Christmas, I think I sent you something, but
I won't be in Lawrenceburg any this year, I don't think.
well, if you are, make sure you text me.
I'll be in Lexington.
Yeah, I might be doing some work with Prep Spin, so I might see you. That pitch upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'll be in Lexington quite a bit with the podcast and that kind of stuff. So I'm releasing a podcast series in March of 2024. We're doing all the interviews now, but it's going to be season 1 of the podcast. Strike 3 there to Gregorio, and that's out number 2. The podcast is going to be called Game Changers with Steve Tressler, and then what that is it's former pro athletes and businessmen and women, as well as just newsmakers of today that are, for the most part, central to our area here in Kentucky. Lexington, Louisville, Cincinnati, kind of covering the tri-state area, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisville. So, should be interesting. First pitch here outside to Owings, but gets the corner, strike 1. Connor tonight 0 for 2. He flew out to right, then struck out swinging. He has already signed with a team in Mexico for winter baseball, which I was excited to see that. I really was, because Connor is a solid baseball player, but more than that, he loves to play. You can tell. But I don't think he's reached his peak yet. Swing and a miss on that pitch. I don't think Connor has reached his peak. I think he's got a lot of baseball in front of him, his best baseball, much like I feel for Thomas Dillard and Logan Brown. I feel like their best baseball is ahead of him. And, of course, the same thing with Encarnacion. He's 25. You know, Sanchez, he's a baby. He's 24. Dillard's only 25. I mean, Thomas Dillard's hit 39 home runs in 125 games. That's a home run basically every 2.5 games, and he's 25 years old. You know, Chris Brady, he's 24. 24. And he was a walk-on. This one popped up a mile in the air. Washington coming over, but Santa will make the grab at second, and that'll end the inning. We're headed to the 7th, folks. Counterclocks trail 2-1. This is Counterclock Baseball on Flow Sports. We'll be right back. David Washington will lead it off for the Honey Hunters here, top of the 7th inning. First pitch here from Meckes outside, ball 1. Both of these guys are big guys. Dakota Meckes, 6'7", 275. Pitching to David Washington, 6'5", 230. Swing and a miss there. Last pitch, 90 miles an hour. One ball, one strike. Swing and a miss again by Washington. Strike 2. Got him on the changeup. He threw the 90-mile-an-hour fastball a second ago and then comes back with an 82. And when you have movement on some of the pitches he has, you may come back to that here. Or you may try to get a fastball by. And that's what he does. Actually, not a fastball. That might have been his slider. 85 miles an hour, strike 3. And Washington, for the second time in a row, after popping out to right field, goes down on strikes. And the DH, Alexis Almeida, coming to the plate. He went down on strikes looking his last time up. First pitch here, down low, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. And this one caught by Gregorio again. That's the range I keep talking about for this shortstop. He's been such a great addition defensively to this team. Line drive by Almeida, caught by Gregorio, and put that on his highlight reel. Watch this again. Comes off the bat flying, and it doesn't look like he's even near it, and somehow gets there and makes the grab. 2 outs, Kevin Santa back to the plate. And the first pitch there, ball 1. Santa struck out looking. Second time up, though, single to center. Fouls this one back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Top 25 football. games going on right now in the fourth quarter. Washington Huskies, 8th ranked over Michigan State, 41-0. That one not quite over yet. And their rivals, ranked 23rd, lead 64-21 over North Colorado. And surprise, surprise, in the second quarter with 6 minutes to go, Florida 18, Tennessee 7. Got a few more coming to you here. Swing and a miss there, strike 3, and Meckes comes in and goes to work. It's time for the 7th inning stretch, folks. Do it with us, and you know what? Sing it at home. Take me out to the ball game. If you're a Honey Hunter fan, do it for Noah. He wants to hear it from you. We'll be right back. Counterclock Baseball on Flow Sports. Two to one score here. Thomas Dillard comes out in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And the first pitch here, 87 miles an hour from the new pitcher for the Gastonia Honey Hunters. That's Nick Wells, 6'5", 185 from Alexandria, Virginia. That one fouled off by Dillard. Wells pitched in that Washington Nationals organization, made it all the way to AAA. One ball, one strike to Dillard. And that pitch in there for a strike. 92-mile-an-hour fastball that time. If you watch Nick Wells throw, he whips his head around. Swing and a miss there. Got him on the changeup at 83 after that 92-mile-an-hour fastball. And that's out number 1. So JC Encarnacion, El Entrega coming to the plate. He flew out to right and struck out. But watch when Nick Wells throws the pitches. He whips his head. It's almost like whiplash. It's almost like he's jerking his whole body that way. I couldn't imagine, like, pitching a whole game and whipping my head around like that over and over. But, it's the way he's always done it. That one fouled off by JC. 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, I'm partial to lefties, so, I won't ever cheer against Nick. I'm a lefty. He's from Alexandria, drafted by the Blue Jays. Swing and a miss there, good-looking pitch. Had Encarnacion completely fooled. Drafted by the Blue Jays in 2014, right out of high school, as a matter of fact, in the 3rd round. Swing and a miss, and got Encarnacion there And another strikeout for Encarnacion tonight. 2 outs. You know, Nick Wells, he played for the Blue Crabs last year. So if you remember the name, he was with Southern Maryland last year. We saw him pitch. He got a W against the Legends. Here's Logan with 2 outs. First pitch in there, strike 1. You know, my son, my 13-year-old, asked me, Dad, do Major League Baseball players, are they scared of the ball too? And I told him, look, that is a dirty little secret that none of them will tell you, but yes. They, you know, when a guy is throwing a ball 100 miles an hour, you're going to be scared. But the ones who become the pros are the guys that can push that fear down as far as possible and stand in there willing to take a shot from that baseball just to hit it, like Logan Brown just did, and caught by Reinheimer. So a little bloop off the end of his bat. Could have been a single, but Reinheimer just too quick. 3 up, 3 down for Nick Wells. We're headed to the 8th. It's 2-1, Honey Hunters. We'll be right back, everybody. Welcome back to Lexington, Kentucky's Counterclocks Field. I'm Steve Tressler. Top of the 8th inning in a pitcher's duel. We've had several pitchers out on the mound now for the Counterclocks. Joey Steele pitching to Jake Hoover. This one popped up and foul. Hey, you know what? That went into the parking lot. If that ball happens to hit your windshield and breaks the glass, don't worry about it. Call Right Way Auto Glass. They'll come out and fix it while you're at the game. So when you leave, it's like it never even happened. Right Way Auto Glass. Here's the 0-2. Steele looks in, gets his sign, and fires. Oh, my goodness. 1-2. Where did that miss? Here's the 1-2 from Steele. That one outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the order in Jack Reinheimer, standing in the on-deck circle. Swing and miss, 3 strikes, and he's out. So Hoover goes down, but Hoover's actually had some good plate appearances. That was the first time he went down on strikes. He's hit the ball both times he's been up. Now Jack Reinheimer comes to the plate. 308 average, 10 homers, 27 RBIs. 1 out, top of the 8th. Reinheimer, the top of the order. First pitch in there, strike 1. Good-looking curveball from Steele. Of course, now Reinheimer has made it to the show. Reinheimer played 2 games in 2017 with the Diamondbacks, and then in 2018, 2 years later, or the same year, he was traded to the Mets, and he played 21 games for the New York Mets in 2018. And he's still putting up great numbers. I mean, his career numbers at Gastonia are like .310 batting average. And a swing and a miss there. And so for the first time tonight, though, he goes down on strikes. Thanks to a Joey Steele pitch there. And Steele, you know, great fastball, great curveball. When he gets that little slider you just saw there going, he's close to unhittable. Joey was drafted by the Miami Marlins back in 2019 out of the University of San Francisco. Good-looking young pitcher. Only 27. This ball hit hard to right, and it'll bounce right in front of Encarnacion for a base hit. He's headed to second, and Encarnacion guns him down. Wow, what a throw. You know what? I was going to say it didn't look like Encarnacion really tried to get to that ball, but he was setting him up. He was letting him have the bag so he could gun him down at second. And De La Rosa, who has struck out all 3 times before hitting that ball, gets gunned down by JC because of his arm. Look at that. That's it, folks. We're to the bottom of the 8th. It's still 2-1 Honey Hunters. This is Counterclock Baseball, brought to you by our friends at Pepsi Bottling, G&J Pepsi Bottling Company. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Counterclocks Field. Aldini Sanchez will lead things off here in the bottom of the 8th. Only his 3rd trip to the plate tonight. Clocks only 1 run on 2 hits. And the new pitcher out there for the Honey Hunters, number 10, Brian Blanton. Blanton, a big guy as well. Is that Brian? Here's a grounder picked up by the pitcher and fires over to first. That's out number 1. Washington makes a grab. So Blanton out there from Albemarle, North Carolina, played in the New York Yankees organization, played single A ball. One down, and Chris Brady coming to the plate. Hello to Rob and Marianne. Rob and Marianne Brady in Arlington, Virginia. 205 average, 5 homers, 10 RBIs for Chris. First pitch here, strike one. And that's not Brady, that's Gelfie. Mitch Gelfie at the plate, not Chris Brady right now. Those are Gelfie's numbers, 205, 5 homers, 10 RBIs. But both Mitch and Chris are great guys. Here's the 1-1. Good looking pitch there. That one in there for a strike. 2-1 now. Brian Blanton went to college at Catawba. Is that us? Catawba? Catawba? Yeah, Catawba College, Salisbury, North Carolina. You know, when he found out he was going to be a honey hunter, he was excited because he's back in North Carolina. He even said in a quote, "I am so pumped to be back so close to home and in North Carolina." Swing and a miss there by Gelfie. And that is 2 up, 2 down for the North Carolina native. And the first pitch here to Jesus Tavares upstairs, ball one. That one looks good. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jesus Tavares, his father of the same name, played Major League Baseball. That one inside and down low. Little bouncer to first. Washington comes up, picks it up, says, "Nope, I got it." And he does. Touches the bag. That ends the inning. We're headed to the 9th. Honey Hunters coming up when we come back. This is Counterclock Baseball on Flow Sports, brought to you by the EMWN Law Office Dugout. Top of the 9th inning, Zach Jarrett, the center fielder, coming to the plate. He'll face Joey Steele here in the top of the ninth. And the first pitch from Steele, my goodness. Fastball right down the pipe, strike one. You see Jarrett's numbers, 300 hitter, 25 home runs, almost 90 RBIs. Grounder to third. Owings picks it up, fires to first. Nice scoop over there by Dillard for the out. And he goes down for out number one. Tell you what, though, I've been so impressed watching Zach Jarrett. Every time I see him play, he does something out on the field that stands out. Played at UNC Charlotte for college. Here's Scott Manea. First pitch here, fastball inside at 92, ball one. Tennessee in Gainesville losing to Florida. Right now that game in the second quarter still, and it's 26-7 Gators. I'm sure that's going to surprise people everywhere. Gators up 26-7 in the second quarter. Gators unranked, Tennessee number 11. That one right down the pipe. Good looking pitch by Joey Steele, strike two. Scott Manea played his junior college baseball in Florida and then was picked up by NC State. They liked what they saw in him. That pitch outside by Steele, 2-2. He actually got drafted by the Mariners in the 40th round in 2014 and decided not to go. Went to NC State instead. That pitch outside, 3-2. The last 3.5 years, or the better part of 4 years, he played AAA ball for the Houston Astros organization and made his way to Gastonia to play for the Honey Hunters. He's originally from Massachusetts. Now he's ready. 27 years old. Rotates between catcher and first base. Here's the payoff. Outside, curveball misses. And a walk drawn by Manea here with one out in the top of the ninth. You know, it's interesting because neither team has really done anything offensively because the pitching has been outstanding on both sides. I mean, counterclock pitchers, they've only given up 2 runs on 5 hits. Honey Hunters pitchers have even been more outstanding with 1 run on 2 hits. And now as I look at the playoff schedule is on the Atlantic League website. That's been posted and ready to go. Both the North and the South Division. First pitch here inside, ball 1 to Davidson. The North and the South Division, Long Island will be at Lancaster on Tuesday night for game 1 in the North. In the South, High Point at Gastonia for game 1 on Tuesday. So the first 2 games will be hosted by Lancaster and Gastonia on Tuesday and Wednesday, respectively. Then you go to game 3, the series flip. And for games 3, 4, and 5, High Point will host Gastonia. Long Island will host Lancaster. Then there's a 1-day break if there is a need for 4 and 5, of course. It's best 3 out of 5. Then there's a 1-day break. And the championship series begins Tuesday, September 26th. And the North Division, that's also a 5-game series. Swing and a miss here, strike 2. The North Division champion will host the first 2 games on September 26th, Tuesday, and Wednesday, September 27th. Then there's a travel day or contingency day, if you will, on the 28th. And then a 3-game series to decide the champion on September 29th and 30th and October 1st if needed. Swing and a miss there by Davidson, and that's a strikeout. There's 2 outs now. And Washington coming to the plate. David Washington coming up. He flew out to right and then struck out a couple times. First pitch here from Steele outside to Washington. 91 miles an hour, ball one. So good luck to the 4 teams in the championship series. I will definitely tune in and see how that turns out. Inside corner, good looking pitch by Steele that time, strike one. That was a changeup that time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fans having a great time on a beautiful, nice, cool night. Only 8:40 p.m. here in Central Kentucky. This ball grounded. Dillard smothers it, picks it up, runs to the bag himself, and gets his fellow first baseman out, and that ends the inning. It's 2-1. We're headed to the bottom of the 9th. The only way they win tonight is if they walk off against the Honey Hunters tonight. We'll be back. Counterclocks Baseball on Flow Sports, brought to you by Sippin' Moonshine and the Kentucky Lottery, funding education, fueling imagination. We'll be right back. Bottom of the 9th inning, Andrew Moritz, the leadoff hitter for the Clocks, at the plate. That's who you want, right? Bottom of the 9th, you trail by 1. You want the hitters 1, 2, and 3 in the order. And it's set up perfectly for the Clocks to do just that. New pitcher out there, that's Graham Spraker. 1 ball, no strikes. Swing and a miss there. Now 1-1 to Andrew Moritz. Spraker is from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Swing and a miss, 1-2 now. Spraker played his college ball. He's 20 years old. Played his college ball at Quincy University, which I believe is in Illinois. And then was drafted by the Blue Jays in 2006. Yeah, there it is, Quincy in Illinois. Fouled off. And drafted by the Blue Jays in 2017. One and 2 to Andrew Moritz. Andrew Moritz, 2018 draft, went in the 6th round to the Braves. And he fights that off and fouls it as well. Spraker's fastball, 93 to 95, so he is throwing gas, folks. That is nothing but gas right there. Here comes a 1-2, one more time from Spraker. Out of the stretch, he's got a sign. He kicks and fires down low, 2-2. In the last 17 innings, Counterclocks pitchers have struck out 27 Gastonia batters. Between yesterday and today, 27 strikeouts for the Counterclocks pitchers. Here's a little bouncer, headed to second. Spraker covers the bag, and 4-1 ground out in your scorebook officially, and that's one out here in the bottom of the ninth. Now the shortstop, Osmi Gregorio, coming up. They're keeping all the kids fired up, that's for sure. Kids yelling to see how high they go on the loud meter up there on the Jumbotron. They want to see how loud they can make the lights go up. One out. Here's Gregorio to face Spraker. First pitch, got him fooled. Gregorio way out ahead of that. Thought he was going to get a 93 and got an 82. Gregorio, another one of those young players. 25. That one down low, 1-1. But, boy, you see his glove. He's fantastic defensively. You know, my advice is, if I'm Gregorio, is I'd play winter ball all winter long and come back. Your arm's already in shape. You've got all those plate appearances to pull from. And, you know, I mean, his athletic peak is 3 years away, right? I mean, study after study after study continues to show a male's athletic peak is 28 to 32 years old. Two balls and one strike. That went away, 3-1 now. Gregorio from the Dominican Republic. Picked up by the Mariners in 2016. Was with the Angels organization this year when we got him. That one low and away. So Gregorio able to draw a walk. One on, one out. The potential tying run is on base, and the potential winning run is coming to the plate in one Connor Owings. One on and one out for the guy from Coastal Carolina University. The pride of Leesville, South Carolina. Drafted by the Diamondbacks. Spraker. First pitch, 89 miles an hour, strike one. Gregorio with a big lead over there. He was with the Lake Erie Crushers last year before coming to Lexington to play for the Counterclocks. Believe it or not, here's a little trivia for you. He was on the Gastonia Honey Hunters last year. Connor Owings played 5 games with the Honey Hunters last year. Fouls that one off. I'll thank Noah Epstein for that one and for the strikeouts from the 2 days of strikeouts for the Counterclocks pitchers. Noah, the broadcaster for the Honey Hunters, sent me that. He's got 60 extra base hits this year. I think over that now, actually. Hits it high into the sky, deep left field, and caught just shy of the warning track by De La Rosa. And that'll end the game. They throw and they get Gregorio trying to tag up, and a double play will end the game. Counterclocks lose it 2-1. Final numbers: Honey Hunters 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors. Counterclocks 1 run, 2 hits for the night. Just 2 hits, 1 error. Honey Hunters left 4 on base tonight. Counterclocks left 2 on base. Tell you what, if you like pitching, this was your game because both teams came out and were just unbelievable. We appreciate you joining us, and to all the fans who came out tonight. Did you get official attendance down there? Official attendance tonight to witness the titanic struggle between the Honey Hunters and the counterclocks was 2,221. The Kentucky Office of Highway Safety would like to remind you to drive sober or get pulled over. For Bill Sally, our public address announcer, Chris Bryant was our DJ, Logan Weiler was on the video board, Jacob Benny was our IT man, Luke Stone, our technical director, Zach Nielsen, our home plate camera operator, Hugh Davis was our official scorer, our official MLB stringer was Ashley Grigsby, and Noah Epstein from the Gastonia Ball Club, the play-by-play man for their Flow Sports version of what we do here. Thanks for all your help and helping me prepare for the game. And to all the Gastonia fans who joined us tonight, congratulations on the win. Final score 2-1, Honey Hunters. That's all for this time. Until next time, which is tomorrow, first pitch 2:05. We'll be on live at 1:50 p.m. Until tomorrow, that's all for this time. Until next time, have a great time, everybody. Please drive home safely. Until tomorrow, good night and go Clocks.